Keep it going. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining. We are back for another Sunday broadcast. I see we have Boss Undy. Love the name. Cyberhouse Lord, EAEA, Seeny Peeny, welcome back. All right. Bless you. You're welcome. All right, so we have a good stream going on today. What I want to talk about is authentication. So it's something that we've been working on quite a bit this past week. I have a authentication control that I want to show off. So, bless you. So up here in if I can digress for a second, because the sneezing brings up an important topic, and that is the cold weather affecting all of us right now. And I think that what's on the roadmap is to get some warm weather coming in, which I think will definitely raise the morale of the entire crypto industry. So that's my opinion on that. But getting back to crypto, we have authentication. So authentication can be done a few ways, right? But what we want to do is have the user have their own personal sovereignty. We don't want to have the user asking for permission to use their identity somewhere on a platform. And even worse, you don't want to have to ask for permission for another service to use your identity so you have to ask for like permission twice. So you have to like ask Facebook if such and such service can use your Facebook ID. You know, you have to prove you are you to some service, and it's just backwards. It just proves that you don't own your identity right from the start. You know, it's like, really, it's a lot like having your tokens on an exchange. It's really no different. You know, if you don't have the key, then you don't own the coins. So, you know, the old adage is not your keys, not your coins. Well, not your key, not your crypto. Hold on, I think I'm zoomed in here. I don't know what happened. Sometimes it trips out like that. Anyway, so before we went for an extreme Wayne's World close-up, just like right there, what I was saying is that not your keys, not your crypto, not your coins is the same as not your key, not your identity. You have to have your own key to have your own identity. And what you can do is sign the identity, or sign any message with your private key. And that lets you authenticate with any service. So let me just kind of, that was terrible. That really hurt. No worries. We're still getting the kinks worked out in week 5 of having sounds. We test in production here, so anyway, we do it live. All right, thank you. That really smoothed it over. Actually, the emotion was kind of high from that shrieking sound, and then the clapping really just kind of had a calming effect, I think, on everything. Mm-hmm. So, let's do a demo. for all the folks watching later, for everyone watching after this, let's go for the after this.
Oops.
Am I already a meme? Like 5 seconds later, I'm already on my instance. Dang, that was fast. Okay, so what are we gonna do here? We are going to share my screen somehow. Is that a thing? Can I do that?
We weren't ready for a demo.
Oh, hey, check it out. Look. Look what I can do. Get ready for it. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that, you know, you just got to represent, you know. You got to show people what we're talking about. And we're talking about YadaCoin. The power to authenticate your users is right here. Okay? So, oh, we'll get to 30 minutes at this pace. It's just how much will I say in that 30 minutes. That was very inappropriate for what we were talking about, I think. It's really frustrating because you can't say anything back. So it's just like we communicate, I say something, and then you communicate with me in like sounds.
Are you going to share the screen?
I don't know how. I guess I'm just kind of like talking because I don't know how to share the screen yet. So, oh, easy. Oh, I thought that the camera would turn that way. What are you trying to share? Yeah, just do Google Chrome Twitch. And then switch the window to the block. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Good. All right. Thank you. Our producer is really top notch. While we get some random sounds every once in a while, a lot of the perfect example. Is that? Are you the dolphin saying thank you, or you're welcome, or whatever? That's good. Okay. You're like, good dolphin. It's like, da, 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 da.
Oh, wow. It's so good. Oh, that's
Okay. So, this is what we have for authentication. So I have no identities yet. Okay. So I want to add the identity. So we have some test identity up here. So I'm just going to pull up my old identity that I have here in Athens, Greece. This is my public username. This is my private username. So let me go over a couple of things here, because I assume that, you know, there's a lot of new people, and, you know, you may not have been following along, or you may need to get caught up. So let's dive in. After I lost the whole audience with that, you know, whole intro right there, but that's cool. So what we have is this interface, which is my patent pending location-based key recovery. So, why would you do it right there? That is such a horrible, horrible time to say that. But that's cool. Oh yeah, big mistake. Whoops. Whoopsie. No big deal. Yeah, patent pending. I did. Well, you want me to look into the camera and say patent pending? No. Patent pending as in defensive patent, okay? So we want to make sure that we don't get this technology taken from us, or having somebody saying that we can't use it or we have to license it from them. Okay, we want to keep this technology available. So what we have here is the interface for recovering your key. So I have this test user. That's our public username. That's what everybody's going to see. We have private username. That's what people are not going to see. And essentially, for anybody who's kind of into crypto, that's the salt of this like password or hash, as you could say. So we're going to take the coordinates here of this location, combine it with the private username, get a hash, and then we're going to mine until we reach a certain difficulty. And then that's going to be our key recovery. So that's basically how the algorithm works. So what we end up with is we click that spot on the map twice with the information in the public username and the private username. And then it looks this up and it gives us some information. So I'm going to look here real quick. I'm using this on a different computer, so of course there's going to be some kind of issue going on, right? So just give me 1 second. Maybe there's no message? Hold on 1 second. Okay, so let's go back. Let's refresh the page and let's see if this added the identity. No, it did not. So let's look real quick. So let's see if we can get this to add. I always decide to do these demos at the last minute. Let's try this. So we'll try to add this identity one more time. Okay, so network. Did it find anything? Yes, it did. So it found that, but it did not add it to that. So we're just gonna do this live. Hold please. Hold please. I'm just saying hold please while I do this. Enjoy some of our awesome sounds. Please enjoy some of our awesome sounds. Very good. Secret location. Okay, where is this damn source code? Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's see where this ended up. Alright, let's see what happens here. Oh, I didn't remember it, and the text is gone. Okay. Oh fuck. I mean, pardon me. I accidentally kicked the camera. 1 second. Okay. All right. I'm sorry about that, everybody. We were missing some text on the interface here, and I forgot to click remember this key. So, okay. Ouch. Do you have a flatline one? Because that's, yeah. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So, where we ended up here, we have public username, private username, and now I'm going to remember this. Okay, so now I'm going to click the location on the map. Boom, boom. What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I'll get rid of the debug. So let's see if it remembers it. It does. Okay, so now we have this available. Okay, this is probably not making sense right now. So let me explain what's happening. So we have, I'll forego the energy bar for a second. So what's happening is that this is like a pop-up window that's going to use your private key to sign a message, right? So you're going to point whatever application it is to your node or a node that you use for your identity, right? So it's going to give you that environment in that window to house your private key. And then your private key is going to send whatever message came into that window. So, so if we have an application, and I can't show you the application that I'm using this for right now because that's kind of top secret, and you know, I will announce that later. But what I'm using this for is a really, really cool new type of application that Center Identity is going to be harnessing. So the way that we're using it, however, is we're taking some data that we need the user to sign, and we're feeding that data into this window. And the user is then going to select which identity they want to use, or they're going to add a new identity. So they're going to take that, they're going to select that identity. So let's say I want to use 4444 to sign the message. So I think that I have, it's not going to display it, I don't think, because I don't think it's going to work this way. Let's try it though. Okay, so there we go. No, this worked. So so basically, it's going to sign this message. I really want those interface messages though. I don't get why I'm not getting those. That makes this demo like really crappy. What? This makes this demo not as good. We want to make this demo as good as possible. I'm not even cussing! Allow me a second to try to debug this real quick. Whoa. What, is this like a big mystery? When I can't figure out the bug. Now I'm not getting any source files. Come on, give me some source files. I'm not getting any source files. It's so weird. Okay. Well, here, give me 1 second, everybody. Today's cast is kind of a shoot show. 1 second. What is this now? All the text is dark, or it's white. That's the problem. Okay. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. You know, I know you guys like to watch this later, but it really would be awesome if you were here on the live show. I really enjoy having you guys here when it's... I miss the good old days when there was like 10. I miss it when there was like 10. Okay. Yeah. What am I looking for? What am I even doing anymore? That's perfect. That's perfect. That's the way I feel right now. Alright, let me see if I can find what I'm trying to do here. Hey, easy. You were censoring me. What happened to that? So it just went from bundle to going, or it went from yeah, it went from giving us the full source to now it's like this minified bundle stuff. All right, anyway, so I'll be explaining this more succinctly in the future. But if you're still following along, we're going to be signing a message, right? So we click the sign button, and now I believe it's going to end up here. And so that message that's being signed is right here. You can see that text right there. You can see that on the page. That's the message that was passed in through the URL here. And that could be any text. That could be, which will most likely end up being a hash, but basically it's like, it could be a challenge code or anything like that from your website. And once the person signs that message, you will end up, let's see where it ends up here. Now it's going to give us a bunch of stuff that is not going to make sense. I think it's going through promises and stuff like that. Anyway, so basically what that's going to do is going to kick out a signature. And when we get that signature, then we can reference the user that signature is from, and then we can verify that that user did indeed sign that message or that challenge code. And the reason why that's more secure is that we can, instead of issuing a token or a session ID for a given user, so like they prove who they are once, and then after that they don't have to prove it anymore. That's just really like a big security hole. It's a huge security problem. So maybe that's what I should have talked about in the very beginning, but that's really the whole issue that we're solving here, is that the security problem comes from the fact that the key is only used once in most cases, and you're still the current standard is to use a username and password. So again, you're asking for permission from the service to use your identity, and you're only proving that you are that person one time. And every request after that, you are they're just assuming it's you because you have this special token identifier. And that's not as secure. And not to mention the fact that you are sending your username and password to prove who you are. And with the user having their own private key and signing messages, then the user never sends their password. They never send their username. They never send their private username or their password, or their location in this case. They don't send their private key, nothing. All they do is sign messages, and they hand over the signature for those messages, which can be viewed publicly, no problem. It doesn't reveal the private key. So it's a way better system, and it's what we're currently using for a center identity application that will be available soon. We're going to be using it for a multitude of different industries, but I also believe we're going to be using this mechanism on the YadaCoin node. So this will interact with the Raspberry Pi identity device. So you'll be able to have multiple identities on your identity device, and services will be able to reference your identity device by way of a pop-up. So when a pop-up comes up, it'll reference that identity device, and you'll see all the options that you have for signing a given message from a web application from your identity device. And then the web application will be like, oh, okay, we know that's you because you signed that message. And then you can say, oh, remember that action for that purpose, and then the request will just automatically be signed every time, which is ultra secure because you are signing every single request. It's amazing, and it's really quite revolutionary. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. You know, I'm always working, and unfortunately the software is not always working in sync with the times that we give these demos. But, you know, I'm always working, and we're always going to be making things better and improving everything. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I think next week is going to be looking a lot better. So stay tuned for, you know, upcoming changes. We're just really heads down in the middle of building some really cool stuff. So, do we? It's I can I didn't know that I can refresh the user list. So Caddy Nas here. What? No, like I'm obsessed with refreshing that now. Can you talk with teams and why there isn't one? Can you talk with teams and why there isn't one? Can you talk teams? Oh, sorry. Okay, I added a word. My bad. So why there isn't a team on the YadaCoin side? Is that what they mean, or? Well, we do have quite a few people who are always helping out with the project. We don't have a full-time team on the job, but we definitely are welcoming folks to join. But perhaps, you know, if we get funded in the future, maybe we'll be able to hire some folks to come on full-time. But yeah, maybe sometime in the future. All right, everybody. Thank you for sticking around. Do you have any questions before I go? I feel like I should hang out and wait for some questions for about 10 minutes in total silence until somebody says something.